This is a video I should have made a long time ago, as I get asked about this topic all of the time. It's not super exciting, but it is super important when considering a move to a new state. So today we are talking about the cost of living in the Boise, Idaho area. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Summer Aston, a realtor in the beautiful Boise, Idaho area, and my team and I help people buy and sell homes here. And before you move here, you are going to want to get an idea of the cost of living in the Boise, Idaho area. The good news about me not having made this video a year or two ago is that the cost of living has changed since I started making videos in 2020. So this data we go over today will be from April of 2023, and I'll try to update it every year. So if you've seen my video that is about the pros and cons of living in Boise, Idaho, I state that the median home price was, I think it was around $370,000. I made that video in May of 2020, and that median home price is probably one of the most important factors in figuring out affordability of an area for you to live. So let's start with an updated median home price for you. Please keep in mind that the cost of living varies greatly depending on what home you live in, which area, and all kinds of factors that we will touch on today. But we should get a good overview, and I'll show you some real-life comparisons. Okay, so the median home price in the Boise area today at the end of April 2023 is currently at about $449,000, and the average home price is about $537,000, and this is for Ada and Canyon counties combined, which are our two major counties in the Treasure Valley. Now, what you can get for that price will depend on location, age of home, size of property, all of that stuff. But in general, for $449,000, you could purchase a newer 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home, 16 to 1,800 square feet on a pretty standard 6,000 square foot lot. So for going over other averages of this cost of living related to the home, I will keep referring to a $450,000 home price point. The next important cost with the home is property taxes. The property taxes vary from area to area here. Some areas, like Southwest Boise, are significantly less than other areas, like Northeast Boise, but for a general idea, it is best to assume a 1% property tax rate. Okay, and then you pay property taxes here based on the assessed value of the home, not the purchase price. And then another factor in property taxes is that you get a $125,000 homeowner's exemption if you live in the home as your primary residence. So let's see the math. Let's say you have a $450,000 sales price on a home. Maybe it gets assessed by the county at $400,000 valuation. Then you get that $125,000 homeowner's exemption, so your tax basis would now be $275,000, and you would pay 1% of that. So your property taxes on that $450,000 home would be about $2,750 a year. Again, it could be more in some areas of the valley and quite a bit less in others, but that is the general idea. And let's talk about costs of utilities and other bills associated with the home. Most homes here are in a homeowners association and they have fees with them. I made a video all about that. I'm going to link that below, but in general, the HOA fees here are anywhere from about $100 a year to a few areas being upwards of $2,500 a year. But the most common is to be around $500 to $700 per year. Okay, and what about utility bills? Idaho Power is our main electric company here, and according to their website, prices for power run from 8 cents to about 12.5 cents per kilowatt hour, depending on the time of day and the time of year. So again, this is an estimate, but for an 1,800 square foot single level newer home, your electric bill should run you about $30 a month on the coldest months and about $120 a month on the hottest months when you use your AC the most. I will just touch on another note regarding electricity here. Idaho has no plans to switch to all electric homes like I know for sure California is doing. And since most of our power comes from hydroelectric, it is pretty affordable and available. And the only blackouts we have are if someone runs into a power pole or something like that. And although people can get solar here if they want, it is not a requirement on new construction homes like it is in California, and it's not always cost effective either. Okay, and how about natural gas? Intermountain Gas is our main gas company, and most homes here, unless they're built before a certain time, have natural gas. I don't know the exact cost of gas per unit of measurement, but based on knowing gas bills here, for this average home we've been talking about, your natural gas bill should be about $30 on the hottest months and about $120 on the coldest months when you are running your heater. House water, sewer, and trash prices vary by area and who is servicing it, but in general, sewer and trash are about $60 every 2 months. Again, this varies by area. House water and landscape water also vary quite a bit by area as well, and there's several different water providers. But my house has Veolia water, and for our entire house water bill for 1 month, it's about $13 a month. Now that is without watering the yard. We only water here 6 months out of the year, and some homes have irrigation water for the yard, which is pretty cheap, and some homes, like my home, we've got city water for the yard. So I live on a 1/4 acre lot with a large garden, and we water quite a bit in the summer, and our most expensive bill in the summer for the landscaping water has been about $60 a month. If you live on a very large lot here and have city water, it can be expensive, upwards of $200 a month to water your yard. However, it's actually pretty rare. Most homes here have irrigation water to water their yards. So you get a once-a-year bill from the irrigation company, and sometimes that fee is included in the HOA fees, and the irrigation companies charge anywhere from $30 to $120 to water your yard for the entire season. So not per month, but for the whole season, as I said. So you can live on a 1/2 acre of lawn, and if you have irrigation water, it could be very, very cheap. So that is one reason why all the communities here can keep their lawns so green. Water is inexpensive, and there is usually enough of it to go around, so everyone can water to their heart's content without restrictions. Okay, some other costs of living besides the house that really affect your bottom line are things like income tax. Yes, Idaho has a state income tax, and it is anywhere from 1% to 6%, and most people are paying at the 6% rate. And how about sales tax? Our sales tax is 6%, and although it could vary by city, it doesn't seem to, at least not like I've seen it vary in Washington and California. But we do get taxed on grocery store food. And gas for your car is a huge monthly expense. As of right now, in April of 2023, we are paying about $3.60 a gallon for gas in the Boise, Idaho area. In general, if you are moving here from the West, Boise has a less expensive overall cost of living than any other major city in the West. There is one thing that can be more expensive here, however, and that is the cost of services like house cleaning and yard care. Due to a higher demand with fewer people working in those service areas here, many of my clients have let me know that they are paying more for those services here than in the states that they came from. And the same with services like getting your hair cut. And I don't even want to say what I pay to get my hair cut and highlighted, but it is about the same as what I would pay if I were in California. So it seems as if services like nails and massages and those types of things, that they are all about the same prices here as they would be in other states to the west. Okay, so how about some real life comparisons to compare costs of home ownership and those other things? I'll focus on 3 states we get the most newcomers from and give examples from California, Washington, and Oregon. So I'm sorry if I leave you out, but this is just for a general idea. And of course, every situation is quite different, and it's very hard to compare apples to apples. Okay, starting with California, this data is from an average single-story 2,000 square foot home in the suburbs of Sacramento that does not have solar panels. This house is valued at about $725,000. It's the type of home you could expect to find in the Boise area for about $600,000. Now, the property taxes on this home are actually really low for the area. They're about $4,000 a year because the owners have lived in the home a long time, and they were able to do a one-time transfer of their property tax base from the previous home. But if they didn't have that benefit, they'd be paying much, much more on property taxes. The natural gas bill for this home this past January was close to $300 for 1 month. And the highest electric bill in the summer was about $250 for 1 month. This home only waters the front little patch of lawn and has a drip system for the rest of the yard. The homeowner put in a faux lawn in the backyard to save on watering costs. So they are paying about $80 a month for water. But I know other clients from California express that they pay much, much more for their water than $80 a month depending on where they live and how much yard they have. For this location of this house outside of Sacramento, the sales tax is 7.75%, and they don't have to pay taxes on groceries. So let's not talk about how high income tax rates are in California, because we don't want to make the Californians watching this too sad. But it is safe to say the California income tax is much higher than in Idaho. And then in this area of Northern California, right now, the gas for cars is about $4.90 a gallon. So will you come out ahead financially if you move to the Boise area from California to retire or work from home? Absolutely, even if the home prices are closer to being on par with home prices from where you are coming from. Now, if you have to get a job in Idaho to move to Idaho, make sure you are aware of what your salary will be, as they can be much lower here than people expect. Okay, let's look at an example from a suburb of Portland, Oregon. This home is about 2,400 square feet, 2-story, and worth about $650,000. The size of this home for the price is quite comparable to some areas of Boise. The highest winter gas bill was about $120 a month, and the lowest was about $30, so that is comparable to Boise as well. The highest electric bill was about $118, and the lowest was about $100, but this homeowner has an electric car that they use regularly. Sewer and garbage together are about $100 a month, so that is more than the Boise area. The highest water bill for this house was about $85 a month, and the lowest is about $45 a month. But this homeowner does not water their yard in the summer at all, and they say that if they were to water, their summer water bill would be about 2 times as much. Oh, and property taxes on this home are about $5,500 a year, but property taxes vary greatly in the Portland area based on all kinds of things. Of course, Oregon has no sales tax, but their income tax rate is about 4.75 to close to 10%, and car gas is about $4.50 a gallon in this area of Oregon right now. So overall, it seems as if Boise is less than the cost of living in the suburbs of the Portland area, but cost of homes themselves might be similar in some areas. And then let's look at an example from a suburb of Seattle, Washington. This home is bigger than the others we've talked about. It's about 3,200 square feet and 2 stories. It is valued at just over $1.5 million and would be the type of home in Boise area that would probably be valued at closer to $800,000 to $900,000. The highest winter gas bill on this home was about $235, and the lowest was about $18. So that is pretty comparable to a 3,200 square foot home in the Boise area. The electric is similarly comparable, about $134 for the high and $59 for the low. Water and sewer are more expensive in this area, about $137 per month, and trash is more at about $53 a month. The property taxes come in at about $1,170 a month, making that just over $14,000 per year. If you were to purchase a $1.5 million home in the Boise area, the property taxes would actually be closer to about $6,000 to all the way up to $10,000 per year, depending on many factors, unless the home was in a more expensive tax area like North or Northeast Boise. And then the property taxes would be more comparable, upwards of $11,000 to $13,000 a year. And then the cost of car gas in the greater Seattle area right now is about $4.80 per gallon. Washington has no state income tax, but King County does enjoy a sales tax rate of about 10.25%. So what did we learn from all of this? Well, for sure, sorry, Californians are being ripped off, but we also learned that the overall cost of living in the Boise area is less than most of the states to the west. And of course, you can take the numbers I shared from the Boise area and compare them to what you are paying in wherever you're living now, keeping in mind that you would adjust some numbers up or down based on the home's size, lot, location, and all of those things. Boise has become one of the most popular places to move due to the better overall costs of living, the great medical services, which we didn't get into the costs of that. But of course, you can check out all of my other videos to see that the Boise, Idaho area is just a nice, clean, and safe place to live as well. If you want to learn more about living in the Boise area, please check out all of my other videos on this YouTube channel. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And remember to visit my website at summerastonrealestate.com for more information there There are community pages that you can check out. There is a relocation guide you can download. You can get a tour map if you're coming for a visit. There's a guide to schools in the area. You can contact us there if you'd like to set up a time to talk. And also you can follow us on Instagram for more daily information about living in the Boise area and real estate here. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.